The galaxy had never taken Earth seriously. To the leaders of the Galactic Federation, humans were primitive, small, and fragile. They had not yet achieved faster-than-light travel like most civilizations, and their weapons seemed weak compared to the plasma cannons and graviton disruptors common across the stars. Earth was, in their minds, an easy target. On the bridge of the flagship Supreme Justice, Admiral Vark stood tall, his scales shimmering under the harsh lights. Thousands of ships followed them through the void, each bristling with weapons designed to crush worlds. "Earth is a minor speck," he said, his voice echoing across the command chamber. "We will show them the power of the Federation. Prepare for orbit assault. Begin destruction protocols." His subordinates cheered. They had all trained for this moment, waiting for a planet so small and insignificant that victory seemed inevitable. Across the galaxy, fleets like theirs had crushed planets in hours. Earth, they assumed, would be no different. Back on Earth, life carried on as usual. Children laughed in schoolyards, farmers worked in fields, and cities bustled with people unaware of the storm heading toward them. Scientists monitored space for strange signals, but most dismissed them as distant anomalies. Humanity had no idea that their civilization was about to face a test unlike any other. On the Supreme Justice, the first wave of bombers prepared to enter Earth's orbit. Vark watched the live feeds, imagining how quickly the planet would burn. "Open fire," he ordered, confident that resistance would be negligible. Then something unexpected happened. Without warning, several ships in the front line shuddered violently. Alarms blared, panels flickered. The crew shouted in panic. "What is happening?" demanded Vark, his voice rising. An officer pointed to the display. "Admiral, systems are failing. Our propulsion shields, it's all going offline." Vark's eyes narrowed. He could not comprehend what was happening. No civilization had ever managed to disrupt his fleet's weapons systems before. "Identify the source," he barked. The officer hesitated. It appears to be coming from Earth, sir. Some kind of energy pulse, very advanced, very precise. It's disabling our ships." Vark felt a cold wave of disbelief. "Impossible. They are primitive. How could they have this technology?" On Earth, in a hidden command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, scientists watched the alien fleet's movements on massive screens. Dr. Elena Torres, the head of the Earth Defense Initiative, tapped her fingers against the console. "They're approaching faster than we expected," she said. "Activate the pulse protocol." A low hum filled the facility. Invisible waves of energy spread outward, reaching the alien ships with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, their weapons failed, their engines stuttered, and chaos erupted in the fleet. In orbit, the first bombers shook violently. Crew members screamed as panels sparked and shields collapsed. The aliens had never seen anything like this. They tried to fire, but their lasers fizzled into harmless light. Panic spread like wildfire. Vark slammed his claw against the console. "Bring the pulse down, target it. Do whatever it takes." But it was too late. Every ship that moved came under attack. Not by missiles, not by lasers, but by invisible forces that tore through their hulls. Ships spun out of control, crashing into each other. Explosions lit the darkness of space, painting a scene of chaos and destruction. On Earth, Dr. Torres and her team observed the results calmly. "We've underestimated them for too long," she said quietly, almost to herself. "This is only the beginning." Back on the Supreme Justice, Vark's command room was a scene of terror. Officers scrambled to understand what was happening. "Admiral, we're losing ships at an unprecedented rate." Vark's mind raced. He had conquered planets before, but never faced an enemy so cunning, so prepared. He looked out at the viewscreen where Earth hung in silent beauty, and for the first time he felt fear. Humans had prepared for this moment for decades. While their technology seemed basic, they had secretly observed alien civilizations, studying their movements, weapons, and tactics. Every satellite, every probe, Every experiment had been part of a plan. Earth's seemingly simple defenses were actually a sophisticated network of energy manipulation and orbital control. Below the surface, cities remained unaware. Life went on as if nothing was happening. But in secret, humanity's greatest minds controlled a system that could turn the galaxy's most powerful fleet into scrap metal. The alien fleet tried to regroup. Ships formed formations, attempted evasive maneuvers, and tried to communicate with their distant bases for support. But every effort failed. Every command, every calculation was met with instant destruction. Vark's confidence had evaporated. "What is wrong with these humans?" he shouted. "They are supposed to be weak. They cannot do this." A surviving officer turned pale. "Sir, they are not just weak. They are prepared. They have anticipated us." The alien commander's pride shattered. Every battle he had fought in his life had ended in victory. And now, in front of his eyes, the unthinkable was happening. His fleet, the pride of the Federation, was being destroyed by a species they had mocked. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Torres allowed herself a small smile. "The pulse is working perfectly. Hold steady. We only need to contain the first wave." She turned to her assistant. "Alert all orbital satellites. Prepare for countermeasures if any ship survives." Explosions continued across the black sky above Earth. One by one, the alien bombers fell, turning into burning fragments that scattered like stars. Panic and disbelief spread among the remaining forces. They had thought they were coming to conquer a weak planet, and now they were the ones running for their lives. Vark's voice cracked as he tried to maintain order. "Retreat, retreat. We cannot." It was already too late. The flagship shuddered violently as the energy pulse struck its core systems. Alarms blared, lights flickered, and control was lost. Vark watched helplessly as the bridge's walls were torn apart and the viewscreen filled with blinding light. On Earth, humans watched from their hidden stations, but no one celebrated. This was only the beginning. Humanity knew the galaxy would notice this defeat, and they were ready. Their planet had survived its first real test, and the story of their strength had just begun. As the smoke and debris cleared, the surviving alien ships retreated in chaos, leaving behind a field of wreckage orbiting the planet. Humanity had not fired a single visible weapon. They had not even revealed the full extent of their power. Yet in less than 1 minute, an entire fleet had been neutralized. Above Earth, satellites scanned the remains. Dr. Torres whispered to herself, "Let them go. Let them tell the galaxy what humans can do. The legend begins here." Far in deep space, the surviving alien commander transmitted a message to the Federation. "Do not underestimate them. Earth is not what we thought. They are evolving faster than we can imagine." On Earth, the sun set over calm oceans. Cities continued to glow, and humans went about their lives, completely unaware that they had just witnessed the first moment in a new era. The first contact with the galaxy's most powerful civilization had ended with humans victorious, not through brute force, but through intelligence, preparation, and cunning. And the galaxy would never forget it. The galaxy had never expected this. A planet deemed primitive had destroyed a fleet of the Federation's finest in less than a minute. Across star systems, shockwaves of disbelief traveled faster than light itself. Alien leaders whispered in secret chambers. "Earth, we underestimated them," they muttered. "Prepare for reinforcements." But on Earth, life remained deceptively calm. The sun rose over bustling cities, children ran through playgrounds, and traffic flowed smoothly through busy streets. Above, satellites hummed quietly, scanning space for any sign of the next attack. Humanity had survived the first wave, but they knew the galaxy would not forgive such a defeat. In a hidden command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Alina Torres and her team worked tirelessly. "They will try again," she said, her eyes on the monitors displaying the retreating alien ships. "We need to be ready, and this time we won't just defend, we'll strike." Her assistant, a young engineer named Malik, frowned. Dr. Tor's strike against them. They still have thousands of ships in the galaxy. We can't risk exposing ourselves. Alina shook her head. They already know Earth is strong. If we wait, they will prepare for the next wave. We need to show them that humans are not just survivors. We are a force to be reckoned with. In orbit, the remains of the alien fleet floated like broken stars. One by one, Earth's automated satellites scanned them, analyzing weaknesses, energy patterns, and structural damage. Humanity had learned much in the last decade, secretly reverse engineering alien technology and perfecting new weapons. What the aliens had seen was only a fraction of Earth's capabilities. Far away, across the galaxy, the Federation convened a war council. Supreme Commander Drelth glared at the reports. How is this possible? One planet barely developed destroyed our fleet without casualties. Admiral Vark, battered but alive in a damaged escape pod, floated silently in the council chamber's holoviewer. His pride had been shattered. They are not primitive, he admitted reluctantly. They are adaptive. They are learning faster than any species I have ever encountered. Drelth's voice was cold. Then we must strike harder, deploy the Alpha Fleet. They will crush Earth. Do not fail again. Vark clenched his claws. We cannot underestimate them again. They are prepared. Back on Earth, Dr. Tors prepared the counterattack. Humanity did not rely on brute force. Instead, they used intelligence, strategy, and precise timing. Stealth ships, invisible to alien sensors, were stationed in orbit, ready to strike the retreating vessels. Satellite arrays could manipulate energy, disrupt shields, and even turn alien weapons against them. Humans had turned every weakness of the aliens into an advantage. The first strike began with subtlety. One small alien cruiser, still functional, drifted near Earth's orbit. A pulse hit it like lightning. Its engines failed, shields collapsed, and crew members scrambled in panic. Within seconds it was gone, consumed by invisible forces. No human had fired a visible weapon. The destruction was surgical, precise, and terrifying. In deep space, other alien commanders realized the danger too late. Their systems, their weapons, it's impossible, one muttered. Another tried to call for reinforcements, but the communication was intercepted and disrupted by Earth's satellites. Every move the aliens made was anticipated. Every tactic was countered. On Earth, Dr. Tors watched the screens. They are learning, she said quietly. They adapt quickly, but humans always have a step ahead. Malik looked at her, awe in his eyes. It's like we know them better than they know themselves. Alina nodded. Exactly. The Federation relies on power and numbers. We rely on intelligence, creativity, and speed. That is our advantage. That is why they cannot win. The alien fleet, now in disarray, tried to regroup. Several warships moved toward one another, attempting to form a defensive formation. But humans had anticipated this. Satellites projected microgravity fields, pulling ships into collisions, tearing them apart with precision. Automated drones attacked critical points on alien hulls, exploiting structural weaknesses that humans had deduced from years of observation. On board the flagship Supreme Justice, Vark's remaining officers were panicked. Sir, they are predicting our moves. Every attempt to form formation fails. Every ship we lose strengthens their control. Vark gritted his teeth. He had led countless battles and had never seen such a display of strategy. These humans, they are not just strong, he admitted, his voice trembling. They are geniuses in warfare. Meanwhile, Earth's counterattack continued silently. Satellites manipulated the orbits of the alien debris, turning their own fallen ships into projectiles aimed at surviving vessels. Entire squadrons were destroyed without warning. The aliens had expected a fight. They found only an invisible wall of intelligence, patience, and deadly efficiency. The news of the battle had spread quickly across the galaxy. Other civilizations watched in awe and fear as live transmissions of the destruction reached deep space. Humanity, a species thought weak, was rewriting the rules. One by one, alien observers whispered, "They are remarkable. We misjudged them." Even within the Federation, panic was spreading. Strategists debated whether it was wiser to negotiate, retreat, or continue attacking. Drelth, however, refused to back down. "We cannot show weakness," he growled. "Earth must be destroyed no matter the cost." But the humans had already won the first part of the war. Their strikes were precise, intelligent, and unrelenting. The aliens had not anticipated humans' ability to turn their arrogance against them. Humans had learned from observation, adapted, and struck with terrifying efficiency. As the day turned to night on Earth, cities sparkled with lights, unaware that their planet had just delivered one of the most decisive victories in galactic history. People went about their lives, completely ignorant of the invisible war raging above them. Humanity's strength was hidden, subtle, and unstoppable. In orbit, the remaining alien ships retreated. Their numbers were small, their morale shattered. For the first time, they feared a species they had once mocked. Vark, floating in a damaged escape pod, recorded a final message for the Federation. "Earth, they are evolving faster than we expected. Prepare yourselves. They are unlike any species we have faced." Back on Earth, Dr. Torres allowed herself a brief sigh of relief. "We've shown them our strength," she said, her voice calm but proud. "And this is only the beginning. They will return, and when they do, we will be ready." Malik smiled, though exhaustion marked his face. "The galaxy is finally waking up to humans." Elena nodded. "Yes, but we must remain careful. Our victory here makes us visible. Other civilizations will watch, learn, and perhaps challenge us. We are no longer just survivors. We are a force they cannot ignore." And in the depths of space, the surviving alien fleets carried their fear back to their home systems. Reports of humanity's brilliance and unexpected power spread like wildfire. A single message repeated in every council: "Do not underestimate Earth. They are clever, adaptable, and deadly." Yet on Earth, life went on. Humans did not celebrate openly, for they knew that the galaxy was watching. Every step, every plan, every hidden weapon was part of a strategy to protect their planet. They were patient, intelligent, and ready for the challenges ahead. The first wave of attacks had failed. The Federation had underestimated humanity. And in this failure, humans had gained a new reputation across the stars, one of cunning, strength, and the promise of even greater power. But the galaxy was vast, and other civilizations would not remain silent. Humans had proven themselves, but their true test was only beginning. And as night fell across Earth, Dr. Torres looked up at the stars, her mind already planning the next step. "They will try again," she whispered. "And when they do, we will show them exactly what humans are capable of." Reports from every corner of space told the same story. A species once thought weak had destroyed an entire fleet of the Federation's finest in less than a minute. Even distant civilizations had started to take notice. Humans were no longer insignificant. They were a rising force that others could no longer ignore. On Earth, life continued almost normally. Children played, cars moved along crowded streets, and airplanes streaked across the sky. Above, satellites orbited silently, scanning the depths of space. Humanity's greatest minds worked tirelessly, analyzing alien behavior, studying weaknesses, and preparing for what was coming next. Dr. Elena Torres stood in the central command room beneath the Rockies, her eyes scanning a massive holographic display of the galaxy. "They are reorganizing," she said. "The Federation will not give up. Other alien factions are watching. Some will come to challenge us soon." Malik, still recovering from the last wave of attacks, frowned. "Should we strike them before they strike us?" Elena's lips curved into a slight smile. "Yes, waiting is dangerous. They think we are defensive. It is time to show that humans can also go on the offense. High above Earth, human stealth ships prepared for their first strike beyond the planet's orbit. Invisible to alien sensors, they could move silently through space, undetected until it was too late. Satellite arrays monitored alien systems, ready to manipulate energy fields, disrupt shields, and even repurpose alien weapons. Humanity's technology, though seemingly simple, had been designed to exploit the overconfidence of every enemy they observed. In a distant system, the Federation's Supreme Commander Drelth received new reports. Alien scouts had encountered human stealth ships. The results were devastating. Entire patrol squads were destroyed without warning, their engines ripped apart by unseen forces. "Impossible," Drelth shouted. "How can they strike us in deep space? They have no faster-than-light warships capable of leaving their planet." Vark, now a captive strategist under Drelth's command, shook his head. "They do not need traditional ships," he said. "They use intelligence, precision, and the environment to their advantage. Humans do not fight like other species. They predict, manipulate, and strike with perfect timing." Drelth's eyes widened in disbelief. "Then, we are not facing a planet. We are facing a predator that thinks differently." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans prepared their first calculated offensive. Stealth ships moved silently toward the edge of the Federation's territory. Satellites created microgravitational fields around alien fleets, destabilizing formations before a single weapon was fired. Automated drones struck key points in alien ships, causing explosions that appeared as accidents or malfunctions. One by one, alien vessels began to disappear. Commander after commander watched in horror as their carefully trained crews were destroyed without a fight. Human attacks were invisible, precise, and terrifying. In orbit of a distant star system, a human stealth ship intercepted a Federation supply convoy. The humans did not fire their weapons openly. Instead, they manipulated the convoy's own engines, turning them against each other. Ships collided, shields failed, and entire crews were lost in moments. Humans had become masters of indirect warfare, using strategy, physics, and observation to win battles before the enemy even knew they were under attack. Back on Earth, Dr. Torres monitored every move. "Keep pressure on them," she instructed. "Every ship we neutralize now teaches them a lesson. Humans are not to be underestimated." Malik, amazed, whispered, "We are rewriting the rules of space warfare." Alina nodded. "Exactly. They expect brute force. We give them intelligence, creativity, and patience. That is our advantage, and we will continue to use it until they learn to respect us." Across the galaxy, whispers of humanity's prowess spread. Alien civilizations that had ignored Earth before began sending scouts and observers. Some were curious, some were fearful, all were cautious. Humans had demonstrated that even without enormous fleets or advanced technology in plain sight, their intelligence, strategy, and preparation could destroy the most powerful forces. In the Federation's War Council, Drelth's voice trembled. "We must adapt. We cannot fight humans like other species. They are unpredictable, intelligent, and ruthless when necessary." Vark, still haunted by his fleet's destruction, added, "We cannot underestimate them. One mistake and we could lose the rest of the galaxy's trust. They will teach others what humans are capable of." The humans' offensive continued. In one system, an alien military installation prepared for a counterattack against Earth. Before it could even launch ships, human stealth drones infiltrated the facility, disabled power generators, and created controlled chain reactions. The installation exploded without a single visible human weapon firing. Elsewhere, humans intercepted alien communications, decoding them instantly. They learned not only of strategies but also of weaknesses, internal disputes, and fear. Every piece of information was used to gain an advantage. Humans had transformed knowledge into power in the most effective way possible. In orbit around Earth, the command center was quiet. Humans had not revealed the full extent of their capabilities. The fleets that had attacked their planet were gone, but Earth's defenses remained ready for anything. Alina turned to her team. They are watching now. They know humans are dangerous, but they do not know everything. Our real advantage is still hidden. Malik's eyes widened. Hidden advantage? What do you mean? Alina smiled. We have prepared for years. We have studied them. We have built systems that they cannot even imagine. Our planet is our greatest weapon, and soon the galaxy will see the full extent of human ingenuity. Meanwhile, in deep space, the Federation fleet tried to regroup. Their commanders were anxious, their ships battered and disrupted. They are different, one admitted. Every time we attack, we fail. Every time we regroup, they anticipate us. How is this possible? Vark, looking at the damage reports, sighed. They think differently. Humans adapt faster than any species I have ever seen. They do not just react, they predict. And when they strike perfectly. Back on Earth, the humans' offensive had one ultimate goal, not to destroy for destruction's sake, but to show the galaxy that Earth was not a planet to be conquered. Each strike was deliberate, a demonstration of human capability, intelligence, and precision. Humans had turned the Federation's arrogance against them, and every victory spread fear across alien civilizations. One final message from Earth was broadcast to the galaxy, encrypted but intercepted by multiple alien factions. A simple warning: do not underestimate us. Earth is prepared. We are intelligent, adaptive, and united. Any attack on our planet or species will fail. Humanity is not primitive. Humanity is unstoppable when threatened. The message spread like wildfire. Aliens whispered in fear and awe. Humans were not just defenders. They were a force that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. In the last surviving corner of the Federation, Drelth leaned back in his chair, staring at the reports. Humans, they have become something we cannot control. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach. Vark's voice was quiet but firm. No, they will strike again, and when they do, we must hope we can survive. But Earth remained calm. Humanity had not yet revealed its full strength, and the galaxy had only glimpsed the beginning. In the quiet of their command center, Dr. Torres looked at the stars and whispered, "Let them watch. Let them learn. When the next wave comes, humanity will be ready. And this time we will define the rules of engagement, not them." The humans' offensive had done more than defend Earth. It had announced their presence to the galaxy. Intelligence, strategy, and creativity had won battles that technology alone could not. The Federation had learned the hard way. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. Above all, humanity had gained something more important than victory: respect. The galaxy would never forget Earth, and humans were only beginning to show what they were truly capable of. The galaxy had never seen a species like humans. A planet once dismissed as primitive had survived the most powerful fleet of the Federation, and then struck back with precision, intelligence, and strategy that no civilization had expected. Across light years, reports of human ingenuity spread like wildfire. Aliens whispered in fear and admiration, wondering what else humanity could achieve. Back on Earth, life seemed calm, deceptively ordinary. Children laughed in playgrounds, airplanes streaked across the sky, and cities glowed as night fell. Above, satellites scanned the darkness of space, listening, watching, waiting. Humanity's greatest minds worked tirelessly, planning not just defense, but dominance. Dr. Alina Torres stood in the central command center, eyes fixed on a holographic map of the galaxy. "The Federation will strike again," she said, her voice steady. "Other civilizations are watching. Some will challenge us soon. We must show them the full extent of human capability." Her assistant, Malik, looked at the projections. "Do we really have the strength to control the galaxy's attention, to make them respect us?" Alina smiled faintly. "We don't just want respect. We want them to understand that Earth cannot be conquered. They must learn to fear the consequences of underestimating humanity. Above the planet, stealth ships prepared to move. They had been upgraded with new technology developed in secret, technology that could manipulate energy on a massive scale, disable enemy fleets, and even alter gravitational fields to destabilize ships. The humans had learned from every attack, every observation, every alien mistake. And now it was time to strike decisively. In deep space, the Federation had regrouped. Supreme Commander Drelth scowled at reports from the edge of human-controlled space. "They are attacking again," he growled. "They are no longer defensive, they are bold, daring, and intelligent. We must respond immediately." Admiral Vark, still haunted by the destruction of his fleets, floated silently in a council chamber. "They do not fight like any species we know," he muttered. "They strike without warning, adapt faster than we can anticipate, and turn our own strategies against us. They are extraordinary." Meanwhile, humanity's offensive began. Stealth ships moved through the void silently, invisible to sensors and undetected by alien AI. Energy pulses disabled propulsion systems on enemy fleets before they could react. Ships collided, shields failed, and alien crews panicked. Human tactics were surgical, precise, and terrifying. For the first time, aliens understood that they were no longer dealing with a single planet. They were facing a species that had mastered strategy, prediction, and adaptation to perfection. In one distant star system, a fleet of the Federation prepared to launch an attack on human colonies beyond Earth. They had assumed that without direct engagement, humans would be passive. But humans were waiting. A single stealth ship entered the system. It was small, unarmed in appearance, yet carrying the most advanced technology ever developed by humanity. Using precise calculations, it manipulated gravitational fields, causing the fleet to scatter in confusion. Automated drones struck key systems, turning the fleet's own weapons against them. Within minutes, the fleet was destroyed, leaving behind a trail of wreckage that drifted through space like a graveyard. Back on Earth, Dr. Torres watched the display calmly. "Every strike teaches them a lesson," she said. "We are not just defending. We are showing the galaxy that humans are clever, patient, and unstoppable." Malik shook his head in amazement. "We are rewriting the rules of war." No species could have done this without risking everything. Alina's eyes gleamed. "We do risk everything, but we also know the enemy. We anticipate them, and when we strike perfectly." The Federation's commanders were in disbelief. Reports came from across human-occupied space, fleets and bases destroyed, entire operations neutralized without traditional combat. Alien morale collapsed. They had underestimated humans, and now the cost was unbearable. Supreme Commander Drelth banged his claw against the council table. "We cannot allow this. They are not just defending, they are expanding, taking the fight to us." Admiral Vark shook his head slowly. "We underestimated them. Every plan we had failed. They are intelligent, adaptable, and faster at learning than any species we have encountered." Meanwhile, humanity had begun making contact with other alien civilizations, not with threats, but with diplomacy backed by undeniable strength. Messages were sent, offering alliances or trade, but always with a warning: respect humans or face consequences. One alien civilization, the Elari, sent an emissary to Earth. They arrived cautiously, their sleek ship entering orbit without aggression. Alina met them personally in the command center, projecting calm authority. "You have observed what humans can do," she said. "We do not seek unnecessary conflict, but any attempt to attack or subjugate our planet will fail. Humanity is strong, intelligent, and united. That is the rule of Earth." The Elari emissary bowed. "We understand. Your strength is unlike anything we have seen. We wish to learn from you and perhaps join you in mutual cooperation." Meanwhile, humans continued striking strategically across the galaxy. Fleets attempting to harass human colonies were neutralized before they could react. Technology, observation, and strategy gave humans the upper hand at every turn. And yet, they remained cautious, never revealing the full extent of their capabilities. In the Federation's War Council, panic spread. "We underestimated them," Drelth admitted quietly. "One planet, one species, and yet they control entire regions of space without conventional fleets. How is this possible?" Vark's voice trembled. "They are not like us. They think differently. They adapt, they learn, and they strike with precision we cannot match. We have never faced a species like this." On Earth, Dr. Torres allowed herself a rare smile. "They are learning the hard way," she said. "The galaxy is finally seeing humanity for what we are. Not weak, not primitive, but clever, strong, and unstoppable when united." Across the stars, alien civilizations began to whisper. Humans were no longer a curiosity. They were a dominant force, a species to be feared and respected. And yet, Earth remained calm, its cities unaware of the legend being forged above. The final human offensive demonstrated the full power of Earth's strategy. Entire fleets were neutralized with minimal visible effort. Alien communications were intercepted and countered. Systems that had seemed impenetrable fell silently, their crews powerless against human ingenuity. Dr. Torres observed the results. "We have not only defended our planet," she said. "We have changed the galaxy's perception. Humans are no longer underestimated. They are respected. They are feared. And we have done it without unnecessary destruction. That is the difference." Malik nodded. "We are not just survivors anymore. We are leaders." Alina's eyes scanned the stars. "Yes, and this is only the beginning. The galaxy now knows humanity is a force to be reckoned with. They will test us again, but we are ready. Every step, every plan, every strategy is prepared. Humanity will define the rules of the galaxy." The galaxy would never forget Earth. Humans had demonstrated that intelligence, strategy, and courage could triumph over overwhelming odds. Fleets that once seemed unstoppable were neutralized. Alien civilizations learned a vital lesson: never underestimate humanity. Above the planet, satellites continued their silent vigil. Humans had proven themselves, but they had not revealed everything. The galaxy had seen their power, but only a fraction of what Earth could do. Dr. Torres looked up at the stars, her mind calm but alert. "The galaxy now knows," she said softly. "Humans are clever, adaptable, and united. And when the next challenge comes, we will face it with the full strength of our species." And so, Earth stood victorious. The Federation had been humbled, alien civilizations had been warned, and humanity's reputation had spread across the stars. They had proven their strength not through arrogance, but through preparation, intelligence, and unyielding courage. The legend of Earth had begun. No fleet, no matter how powerful, would ever underestimate humans again. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Earth was untouchable. Humanity was unstoppable.